Hey, hi, hello, it's Rebecca Marie and welcome to the Align and Sunshine Club. It can be a lonely journey leveling up and I'm here to go through it with you. I'm a 21-year-old navigating life as a young founder with big dreams, personality, and the hope of inspiring more people to take on the challenge of finding themselves, their happiness, and alignment with their best self. I'm all about showing up as the person you want to be. So stick around if this is a bit of you and prepare to feel like sunshine. Hey, hi, hello, it is Rebecca Marie and you are listening to episode 2 of the Align and Sunshine Club podcast. I am so excited to be back sitting here recording this. I've had such amazing feedback from the first episode and I couldn't be happier about it. I'm glad you guys love this idea. I'm glad you're loving the first episode and the concept behind it. And I'm so excited to just keep bringing you episodes and keep bringing you more. And there's so many plans in place for this. So make sure you stay tuned. And today, if you didn't read the title of the episode, we're going to be talking about my business journey. So I feel like there's a lot and I do share a lot of it online, but I think it's quite interesting to start from the beginning and tell a bit of a story about how I got into this, why I feel like this is such an important journey to share and why I feel like I can be sharing this information with you. So yeah, let's get a little bit deep and personal with my business journey and let's just get right on into it. So my whole business journey started in high school. I had a rentals business when I was in year 11. And I remember when I wanted to start it up, I either wanted to start like a secondhand selling clothes, like a vintage company, or a rentals company. I made 2 business plans and I called my best friend Ethan at the time. And I was like, bro, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a business. He's like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I am. And so I did it. I just went with the rentals and I did it. And it was called Lux Lending and my friends modeled and I did it as my impact project at school. Impact projects are like Wednesdays that you got to work on something that wasn't schoolwork. It was meant to have an impact. So mine were businesses. But yeah, so I did that and I absolutely loved it. But then I realized that I didn't really want to be like the number one rental shop in New Zealand. And I like, it was interesting, but I didn't care enough to like grow it. And the reason I did start that business, and obviously the other business idea as well, were both related to sustainable fashion and slowing down the fashion cycle. So that's kind of where I got my first inspiration for businesses was, let's combine my love of sustainable fashion and my passion for that with my passion for wanting to start a business. And so we did the rentals for a little while, I think a couple years. And then through like my business studies class, I started like a tassel earring brand, which was like Earrings by Lux. And I went to the markets with that and it was really fun. And now here's like the little deep part. So I've loved business for so long, but I also was harassed pretty badly in school for loving business. And I get it, right? No, I actually don't get it because I get it. I was putting my hand up. There's a question. Rebecca's hand is in the air. It's like, anybody know the answer? Yep, Rebecca knows the answer. I'm going to throw my hand up. I loved business and I feel like so many people just do business because it's like a fun topic, but I was doing it because I really loved it and I actually wanted to pursue it. And yeah, that didn't sit well with a few of my classmates and they destroyed my work. It wasn't a fun time. But luckily, my love for business was stronger than their hate for me. And so it's still going now. But I just think we should really touch on that because it hasn't all been easy breezy. It hasn't just been like, I decided to do this in high school. Deciding to do it in high school, I would never say it's a mistake, but like it was not easy at all. And those girls are absolutely awful people. So not really that fazed about it. But yeah, so did that earrings thing alongside the rentals, alongside getting harassed. And then I was like, okay, I need a better business. I want to do something better. I want to do something bigger. So I was like, what can I manufacture? And I heard about these handbags that were being made out of banana leaves. And it was like leather handbags made out of banana leaves. And I was like, I wonder what other fabrics you can make out of like sustainable swap fabrics. And so, yeah, I did a heap of research. And this was back in 2018. I didn't tell anybody about this plan for 6 months. I did a lot of planning behind the scenes because when I did my rentals, one of my friends at work rented from me and then stole all my branding, stole all my processes. She literally did everything like all the layouts I did for Instagram and everything. She just turned them blue. And I was like, okay, I put my time and effort into that, but okay. And she blocked me on everything. Anyways, that was another learning curve, and I learned not to tell people about my idea until I was really concrete with it. And to be fair, I had already launched the rental, so like if she was going to steal it, she was going to steal it. But it did just make me really wary about the next one. So yeah, found the fabric, and this is where Purple Swimwear started. So officially started in 2018, but publicly started talking about it in 2019. The first people I told were my business mentor at school, Lloyd. He was like one of the teachers, but I never was actually in his class, but somehow we were just like really good friends. And so he kind of just like mentored me through high school, especially when it was really hard. So big ups to Lloyd. We love Lloyd. But yeah, so told my other business teacher, Kay, and her feedback was that the fashion industry is huge and that is a big job to tackle. And it is. The fashion industry is huge. Like trying to break into that market is difficult. And I have struggled. So that feedback was totally valid, but it's also not what I wanted to hear when I was first starting out. And Lloyd was just backing me 100%. I feel like everything I do, Lloyd knows I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. So he was just like, yeah, go for it. Cool. Biggest up than rentals. I like it. So yeah, those are the first two people I told. And then I found out about the Young Enterprise program, and I was like, I'm going to do this. So if you don't know what the Young Enterprise program is, it's a business competition program for students, year 12 to 13 at high school. And you compete in a heap of different challenges like marketing, like sales and pitching, and then you get scored on them. If you're like the highest ranked at the end of the year, you get to compete at regionals. If you win that, you go to nationals, and then there's this huge event. Yeah. And so I didn't go in with the intention of going through the whole program and like winning it. I just wanted to do it because it gave me a bit of stability. It was just a cool way to promote my business, and I felt like I wasn't getting enough support through the impact projects at school. So I was like, okay, let's team up with Young Enterprise. And so I started doing that, and it was great. I did all the pitching, and when I first did my pitch, I was literally shaking. Holding my cue cards was so hard. I was going to drop them. It was so bad, but also obviously good practice. So I did that first pitch, did better than I thought. And when it got to the end of the year, I got teamed up with Maddie Barnett, who is one of my really, really good friends now. So I'm very grateful for this. But she became my like Young Enterprise. She was the regional coordinator, but because my school didn't really run Young Enterprise, I had never met her before like literally the week of regionals. And so we were like training together. She's like getting my pitch up to scratch, which was great, but I just think it's so funny. So if you do Young Enterprise, make sure your school teams you up with your regional coordinator earlier, because I definitely would have done more. Yeah, anyways. So then we went to regionals with Purple Swimwear. Oh, I haven't even mentioned what it is. I just presume you guys all know. It's what Sustainzy is now. So it's my bikinis made out of plastic collected from the ocean. They're sustainable, reversible, made to order. Yeah, awesome. Okay, there we go. Now we've cleared that up. So we headed to regionals. We went to the Auckland, I think it was like North Auckland. I don't know, whatever. We went to our regionals, and I ended up coming first. I won regionals, which was so cool, which meant I got to go to nationals. And I also got what else did I get? I got a One to Watch award, and I got a National Excellence Award, but if you got a National Excellence Award, it meant you got to go to nationals as well. So I was definitely going to nationals. I was so excited. So then I worked way harder with Maddie. We were training. We were getting that pitch perfect. It was so fun. We had a really good slide deck. And then we went to nationals. So we got flown down to Wellington and competed down there. And I was so scared. Like, these businesses were amazing. Like, these high school students are doing things, eh? There were people I've known from past Young Enterprise like events, and it was just so exciting, and it's such a great place to meet everyone again. And anyways, we went to the awards dinner in the evening, and Purple Swimwear. ended up coming third out of 1,000 young enterprise businesses, which was awesome. We got a little cash prize. And then I also got the National Excellence Award for, I want to say innovation. I think it was innovation. Got a little cash prize for that as well. It was great. It was so awesome. So yeah, that happened. That was my journey with Purple Swimwear, young enterprise, and throughout high school. And then let's backtrack. Let's backtrack a tiny bit, because Purple Swimwear also went on the radio with George FM, and we won $10,000, which was really, really cool. Yeah, I was in Thailand for a young enterprise trip and entered this competition, and I got a call, obviously a really weird time because we were in Thailand, and had to go through with it. So I was like live on the radio pitching the business, and then as soon as I got back to New Zealand, I had to go into the studio, pitch live. Then we had 24 hours to get the most votes between me and this guy who was making like digital postcards. I can't really remember what he was doing. And then I walked around the streets. I was texting everyone I knew, everyone who I haven't talked to in ages. Vote for me, please vote for me. Ended up winning. So I got the $10,000, which was awesome as well. And I think that really helped with my young enterprise pitching, because obviously you can say like, you've been backed by the public. But yeah, gave me the capital to be able to start. So yeah, then I moved down to Wellington in 2020 to do university, and I did it part-time. I was studying commerce and design for social innovation, but I did them part-time so that I could also run my businesses. But everyone knows what happened in 2020, COVID hit. And so when I went to go and spend all the startup capital I had raised, I couldn't, because COVID hit, and like the Italian factory closed down first, because obviously it hit Europe before it hit New Zealand. And yeah, so I didn't get to do it. So I stopped business and I was just doing university part-time. And then I realized that without doing anything businessy, I was getting severely depressed. I was already having a hard time in halls, and then not doing anything businessy, like I just felt like I didn't have a purpose, which is so dramatic. But I didn't have a purpose, and I didn't have a purpose swimwear. But I'm not funny. Yeah, I am. That was actually, that was top tier. Yeah, and so I started selling clothes on Trade Me again. I used to do it when I was little, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to start that up. So I started that up in my hall again, just so I was doing something, got to do the marketing, got to take the photos, got to do a little bit of admin. It was just a great feeling. And then I started Sustainzy back up again towards the end of the year, rebranded it to be called Sustainzy instead of Purple Swimwear. And that's the business it is now. So yeah, I was working on that, dropped out of uni in 2021. So that I could afford to work at a hot dog shop to pay my rent, and then work on my personal brand and Sustainzy, which was a great decision. And through here, I just ticked along throughout the year, working on the business, working on how things happen. Had so many issues with like manufacturers and everything. Like there is so much detail I could get into about this, but this isn't a Sustainzy podcast. This is a business podcast. So I'm going to try and wrap up Sustainzy so we can get into the next one. But yeah, so many issues. And it's been such a learning curve. Like it's so great, like seeing how to be a young founder, seeing the struggles that people have. Yeah. Anyways, we get it. I love business. I love the ups and downs. And then I met my business mentor. I went to this girls in business. It was like young. It was, what was it? Female founders? Founder females? I don't know. In Wellington, and a new chapter had just launched. And there was like a event with a panel, and you could network with other girls. And I was like, absolutely yes. I don't go to university. I need somewhere to meet like-minded people. And it was an amazing panel. There was someone from Yo Gallery, which is a yoga studio art gallery combo. There was Jenny, who is my mentor. We'll get into that in a second. And she's from Austin. And then there was Kristen Lundman, who was the Hatch founder on the panel, which was so cool. And you got to hear all the stories. They gave you some tips and everything. And whenever I go to a networking event, I will always say thank you to the panelists and the people who organized it afterwards. This is something I've always done. I've done it since I was at primary school. I would go up to the people who came into our assemblies, even if they didn't even make an impact with me. It was to thank you for their time. And this is something that is so important, and I want everybody to start doing this because not enough people do it, and it's just common courtesy, or so I thought, but people do not do it. So please, when you go to an event, go and thank the hosts. Like, they're giving you their time and they deserve to be thanked. You would want to be thanked if you were in their position. So please start thanking the people who organize things you go to. But anyways, as I'm saying, I go up and I thank the hosts, and I can't find the panelists because I was sitting in the chairs and I was talking to the girls around me, and some of the panelists have left. And so I'm really upset because I wanted to say thank you to them. And so I am leaving. I'm walking out, and at the bar, I see Jenny is sitting there with someone who is now also one of my friends. And I go over and I go, oh, thank you so much. That was amazing. I took so many notes. I really appreciate it. And Jenny just asks me what I do. And I was like, oh, well, I cook hot dogs, but I have a sustainable swimwear line. And she thought that was really interesting, told me to connect with her on LinkedIn and we could get a coffee. And so I went home, completely revamped my LinkedIn because I hadn't used it in years, hadn't used it since like high school, and it was looking absolutely shabby. And so I fixed it all up, sent her a friend request, organized a coffee. We met at the office and became really good friends. I'd go over and get advice from her like once a week. Then it became twice a week. Then she offered me to start interning at Level Up, which is a founder coaching company run by Linda Jenkinson. So it's Level Up by Linda Jenkinson, and we coach founders to build $100 million businesses, which is so cool because obviously the people who are involved in that have these amazing businesses and amazing brains, and I get to work with them. So I get to attend all the sessions for free, and I do a heap of admin, and I do like the preparation on the day, so like coffees and stuff, typical intern things. But it was amazing, and the value I was getting out of that was immense. So anyways, that's how I met Jenny. And that really led me down like the next path of my business journey, which was working with those founders and getting the mindset and getting the $1 million mindset from Linda. So yeah, that is the Sustainzy side of things. And Sustainzy is still running now. It's definitely slowed down again. There's been so many issues. And I do have other projects in the works. So it definitely still exists. I do love it. We've got more coming for summer. I'm really excited for our summer. I'm going to travel around, go to some markets in my little camper van Honda Odyssey, which will be really fun. But yeah, let's talk about a different side of my business journey, which would be my personal brand. So alongside Sustainzy / Purple Swimwear, I have always been trying to grow my personal brand and my network. And so I've been doing this through sustainable fashion content. I started a YouTube channel in 2020, and started posting consistently in around my birthday which is July of 2020. And I posted weekly and all these different sorts of videos. I did fashion videos, I did uni videos, I did flatting videos, and just kind of testing out all the waters to see where I could get a bit of exposure. And the videos that did really well were the uni videos, because obviously people are looking for this stuff a couple times a year. There's a few key times in the year where that information is really necessary, and it didn't exist. And so I was creating this content that people needed, and it really helped my YouTube channel to grow. And so it wasn't what I wanted to be creating, but it is helpful, and I do love making content, so I did just cater to that market and grow through that. So we did that, and then I also I started my YouTube, was growing that, have my social media accounts, so started posting more like an influencer on my Instagram account, really like telling people where things are from, promoting sustainable fashion wherever I can. I only ever thrift my outfits, and so I'd always do like sustainable outfit details. Just started being more personal on my Instagram, not running it like a friend's account, like treating it like a community, and it grew like a community. And then when I got into TikTok, did the same thing, really showing my personality, being vulnerable, being open. And I'm really trying to break a lot of stigmas that I see around people on Instagram. Like, I want to be open. I want to be honest. Like, it is a community. Your followers are your community. And if you're not being actually honest with them. Like, who are you helping? Like, you're helping yourself capitalize on it, but all of your community and all of your followers aren't getting that honest and like that real side of you. Like, they're looking at you because they think you're a real person. But if you're not sharing the ups and the downs, I don't get the point. So that's really what I try and do on my socials. Yeah, so that's my personal brand. And I started monetizing my Instagram and my content and my YouTube. And that is another source of income. And through that, I got reached out to by TVNZ. And I was doing a segment on their new show, The Feed, which was really cool. It was like a sustainable fashion segment. And they found me through my YouTube. So it just shows that everything goes full circle, right? Like, people on my Depop would comment on my Depop and be like, oh, you're the girl from the uni videos. I'm like, that's so crack up that you can go full circle like that. And that is the goal of me working so hard on all the different elements, is that it does wrap background. Yeah. So now the expansion of my personal brand is this club. So we've got the Align and Sunshine Club. And this is my new baby. I am so excited about this. Like, it genuinely makes my heart feel so warm when I think about the potential that we have. And I'm just so excited. Like, once again, if you're watching the visual podcast, you will see how happy I am filming these. Like, absolutely grinning. I'm so excited. Yeah, so there's a lot coming for the Align and Sunshine Club. I've got a few really cool guests lined up. I have some really cool ideas. There's so many ways we can expand this. Ooh, the amount of good feedback we've had is just so helpful as well, because it really validates my idea that I've got here, and I'm feeling really good about it. Like, I haven't felt this amazing about something since I came up with the idea for Purple Swimwear. Like, that is saying something to me, because ever since I started Purpose and Sustainzy, and ever since I hit so many roadblocks, like, I've been doing it for years, I've been thinking to myself, I'm like, I love Sustainzy, but I don't know if it's the business. Like, I don't know if it's like the one. And I'm like 21, so it doesn't have to be. Like, it's just a learning curve, right? But when and I've been like thinking for ages, I'm like, I want the next business idea. Like, I want the next one to come to me. I want to feel like the calling towards it. And I couldn't find it, and it wasn't coming to me. And I was like, this is not what I want. And then it just hit me. And I was like, I've wanted to do a podcast for years. This can go like this. This can go like this. Got all these plans. So yeah, I'm excited. There's big things coming, guys. It's going to be so good. Yeah, so those are all the different channels I've kind of taken my business journey on. So we have the rentals, then the earrings from that. That was very high school. Sustainzy, which was Purple Swimwear, which went through Young Enterprise, took me on a lot of cool adventures and grew Sustainzy into what it is now. And then we have my personal brand, which has been going alongside all of those things, which is sustainable fashion and being super open and honest. And then on top of that, we have the Align and Sunshine Club, which is this podcast, which is all about helping people to level up. So yeah, those are all the different buckets. And I thought that this episode was really, really important to just kind of get those all out of the way so that we know what I'm talking about or what I'm relating things to if I say, oh, Sustainzy, oh, Young Enterprise. So this one I think is quite important just to get to know me a little bit better. I'm hoping that this is helpful. And I'm so excited for next week. We're going to jump into like an actual topic about bettering ourselves and about self-development, which I'm so excited. So we're going to decide it. I've got a couple ideas that are like, I really want to take off soon. And then in the next couple episodes, we'll have a guest, which is going to be so exciting. We'll get to hear about all the cool things that they do as a human, what they get up to, what they love, what their life is about. And then we'll ask them about their self-development journey, what they want to advise you guys on, what they wish they knew earlier, when they started, their best habits, all these things. So you guys can see from another person's perspective how they run their life and how they level up and make themselves the best version they can be. So yeah, there's so much exciting stuff coming. I hope this episode was helpful. Please remember to reach out to me if you have any feedback. I am loving sitting down with the mic. I've got a funky mic stand now and it like connects to my windowsill so I can have the mic right in front of my face and just like kind of move around, which is great. And you will have seen on the visual episode if you're watching that. But yeah, hit me with your feedback, hit me with your support. Please make sure to download the episodes and subscribe to us on the different platforms so that you don't miss an episode. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Have a great week, lovelies. I can't believe it's done. I love this. I love this mic. This feels so professional. Thanks so much for listening. You're now part of the club and I love having you here. Make sure to check out our socials at A Lion and Sunshine Club or mine at It's Rebecca Marie. And I'll see you next week for the next episode. Keep showing up as your best self, you fabulous ray of sunshine. Love you.